moment, like the clock is broken, never stopping, never slowing. Yeah, we're
So the picks are in. We welcome you to this Draft Champions contest. I'm Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis, ready to call the action. And let's get to it. Down to the field. It's time for kickoff. Fielded about a yard deep. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee. And that's at the 25. On first down, Love out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. No gain, and it's second down. They couldn't get anything going there out on the right side of the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
Here's Love. It's complete to Chris Conley. A good pickup there at 22. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. And when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. jonnygun3's able to get him for a loss of about 3. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
Here's Allen. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return, and it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. This is Bilal Powell. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
They go play action here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Addison in there to get him. And this pass rush strong now. That's sacks on back-to-back plays. And the defense will try and pin their ears back and get pressure again here after the sack. It's third down.
Let's go.
From the gun, here's McNair. Finding time. And here the hookup good to Victor Cruz. And he's able to get this one up to the 45-yard line.
The goal of every offense is to move the chains, pick up first downs. A nice job finding an open receiver for a completion.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Here we go.
They'll send Rice in motion. On first down, it's McNair. Eluding the pressure right. It fights him off. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll bring up second down. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Garner. And they still need 8 yards for the first here on second down.
Let's go. Brand 38. Ohio.
On second down, McNair dumps off to Powell. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
Let's go. Flex round. Flex round.
In motion, the tight end Clay.
Ohio.
Now McNair. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
And there's a good opportunity to just want to ride there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on third down.
Here we go. Flex round.
Here's McNair. And he's got a man open. That's Allen. Touchdown, Giants. Keenan Allen, 43 yards. And the Giants are in for 6. That's one of those long drives where not only do you score, but you really tire out the defense, too.
That's a great point, because now they've been on the field for a long time. Them going to the bench, trying to make adjustments, trying to figure things out, but they'll do so fatigued.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And last year, that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year, he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on.
And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. To throw on second down is Locke. Conley's got it over the middle. pickup there, a 22.
As far as I'm concerned, Andrew Luck can do it all. I mean, he's an underrated runner, toughness in the pocket, strong and stout. But let's face it, the money, that comes from his arm.
And smart, valedictorian of his high school class in Houston. Then he goes to Stanford. He's got it all. It's brought in by Harris. Evades the tackler, and now some space. Touchdown, Washington. Demetrius Harris, 61 yards. And the Redskins are an extra point away from tying this thing up. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the Giants ready to come out now. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch, counter punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
Let's see if they dial it up this drive. One receiver left, that's Allen. And time for us to take a break here in the booth. Back to Buffalo after this. So second down, 3 yards to go now. Shift together here from the D-line. They'll run again. Again, it's Powell. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
And that play was vintage Derek Johnson. Made a play in the backfield. In college, he did as an outside linebacker.
Try to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Derek Johnson. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field.
And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Chris Conley, 37 yards. And the Redskins have taken the lead.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result? A touchdown.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. The former star at the University of Buffalo, Khalil Mack, in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. Out of the gun, it's McNair. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Allen alone to the right.
Come on, let's go.
To throw, McNair. Flushed out right. Now he'll let it go deep right. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. A big play there just before halftime. 46 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. 1 receiver left. That's Allen. From the gun, here's McNair. Looking right sideline, that's complete. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about it, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
If they want it first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. McNair. And that will be caught, but out of bounds. Out of bounds, ruled incomplete here. A 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. A beautiful fake. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. They'll come out in the pistol. Now it's Love. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. All right, hang on here. We'll jump over halftime. Just let the system and graphics catch up. Okay, all set. 3rd quarter now. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And New York set to take the field. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. And the Redskins scoop it. And he gets it back into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery leading to a Washington touchdown. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room where they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave him a comfortable lead.
And, can you believe it? He misses another one, his third so far. So let's try this again as they come to the line to go for two. Luck will try and throw for it. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. The linebacker, Justin Durant, with a pick. And he'll take it all the way up near the 30-yard line.
Well, as most teams do in their two-point attempt, they pass the ball. Instead, it gets intercepted, and remember, if you pick it off, you got a chance to take it all the way back, get 2 points yourself, right?
Yeah, not the case here. That's why you got to be really careful with those throws, especially to the outside. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. The slot man in motion right. They go again with Powell. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And quickly they get to the line. On 2nd down, McNair dancing to his left. Now he'll turn and throw deep back to the other side. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance, they're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Third and long, it's Locke. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howell. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the...
And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Their big-bodied receiver, 61 yards. And the Giants are a 2-point conversion away from tying this football game. So they're going to go for 2. In motion, the tight end Clay. McNair to throw. That's caught at the 2. And he's not going to get there. So they come up empty on the 2-point conversion, and they are unable to tie up this football game. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. Short kick. One of the up men will take it now. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. After the interception, it's Locke. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Justin Duran in there to get him for a loss of 5. On second down, here's Locke. He completes it to Julio Jones. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down. Now third down, less than a yard. Luck looks to throw on 3rd and 1. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones, his intended receiver. And it's 4th down.
I know exactly why he tried to throw the ball to Julio Jones there. He's never considered covered. He's either too fast or too strong. You always try and get it to him.
Especially on those deep passes. They'll run. This is Bernard. Fighting through and able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. 4 yards on the pickup, and on 4th down they're able to convert and move the sticks. So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Love is going to find his running back. It's complete. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They go play action here on 1st down. Underneath, this is Bernard. 12 yards on the pickup, and that leads to a Washington 1st down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Fresh set of downs here. Now a 1st down throw. Locke. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
And they pick up a 1st down, and that came out of the fullback position, but as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old-school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college with all the spread offenses, not very many pro style, where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
Luck throwing again. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by William Moore. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Very tough spot here for the offense to start. From deep in their own territory. They look to throw. And Dwayne Allen on the ground. 22 yards on the pickup there. And that'll be good for a Giants first.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
On second down, McNair. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up.
Let's go!
On first and 10, McNair. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. No gain on the play there. It'll be second down. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
And the defense lines up looking for one final stop.
And they will be playing for the pass in this situation, not expecting any type of a run.
They'll be marked inches short, no gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to fourth down.
They gain nothing, and all they need are inches. Usually we put this on the offensive line, but sometimes it's the quarterback's fault as well on the sneak. You've got to get low and burrow.
Usually we talk about O-line surge, their D-line surge leading to fourth. They come out with one back and three tight ends. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and they're able to convert here on fourth and inches.
And this is a spot where you have your offense stay out there to get those few inches. It's too long for a field goal. It's not worth punting. So this is the right decision as far as I'm concerned. And they wind up picking up the first down.
They'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. Caught. It's Cruz left side. And he's brought down, but not before reaching the 8-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The offense operating inside the 10 at the 8 here. It's first and goal. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal. The Redskins looking for another timeout, and they get it. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. In motion, the tight end Clay. They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to third and goal. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And the offense readies for play number 10 of this series. They come out here in the eye. Allen, the man in motion right. So still 7 yards to go here on third down. It's third and goal. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only able to pick up a yard, and that's going to leave him with a long fourth and goal.
This offense bent the defense in their long drive downfield, but once they got within sight of the goal line, the defense went to don't break mode and is stiffened.
And Frank's kick is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you've got a decision. Are you in field goal range or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it. He'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. He gets it complete to Harris. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
So 2nd and 10 here. Shift together here from the D-line. Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Shedd. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. And New York set to take the field. The clock cannot be stopped here. Defense can't do anything. So kneel it down, take it home.
No doubt about it. It's what you practice for in winning situations each and every week. Victory formation. Take a knee and go on into the locker room and celebrate.
Call it a victory. The linebacker, Derek Johnson, in on the stop. Well, partner, even though my phone alarm failed me this...
Try to shut us down. We'll show you just how we get down. And just to even up the score, we're coming kicking down your door.
Yeah, I never played fair, so tell me why now should we care? Queen Bee told y'all a long time ago that we run the atmosphere. Did we build it? Yeah. Do we own it? Yeah. We even in the studios running playback. Shout out to Airman Sally, the young guard, to all the G's like us. Yeah, we go hard. See, this is how we feel to be a champion. We might fall down, but we never run. You wouldn't need it if you knew what we overcome. Do you know what we gotta overcome? But they ain't stopping nothing. Me and my girls on top, straight stunting. And we abide by a real strict code. Hands off my ex and homies over.
If you try to shut us down, we'll show you just how we get down. And just to even up the score, we're coming kicking down your door.
We play our way.
Would rather be me.
Do work all day.
We don't see TV.
You be fly that, can we buy that? We even run the full court, make it stack. Shout out to Maya Moore, the young guard, to all the girls like us, yeah, we go hard. See, this is how it feel to be a champion. We might fall down, but we never run. So proud of that we overcome. Do you know we bow down to none. I wanna hail out all my day ones. Time really does fly when you're having fun, but the party don't stop till we staring down the sun.
Try to shut us down. We'll show you just how we get down. And just to even up the score, we're coming kicking down your door. If you try to shut us down, we'll show you just how we get down. And just to even up the score, we're coming kicking down your door. Kick it!
Adam Schefter now, who has more to say about Young.
He was a dominant receiver in college and deservedly won the Heisman after a very impressive season. He's the kind of receiver that defenses would double team, and yet they still couldn't slow him down. He's not the big man on campus anymore now that he's been drafted, but I still feel comfortable.
So, I am the fire. Love is destruction. This war is mine. I am the missile. I am the fire. Love is destruction. But this war is mine. This war is mine. I am the missile. I am the fire. Love is destruction. But this war is mine. This war is mine. I am the missile. I am the
Falcons pick is in. Let's go to Adam, who has more on Young.
He was a dominant receiver in college and deservedly won the Heisman after a very impressive season. He's the kind of receiver that defenses would double team, and yet they still couldn't slow him down. He's not the big man on campus anymore now that he's been drafted, but I still feel comfortable in saying I think you're going to hear his name called quite a bit on Sundays.
There's more than meets the eye with her. Nothing I can do. I'm left without a clue. She sees it all in black and white or blue. She's got a rebel heart.
The Panthers are now on the clock.
One day she's gonna
Seahawks pick is in. Adam, give us the latest information on this guy.
You heard his name brought up more and more as the college season went on. He really had a breakout year, getting the attention he deserved after having several monster games in which he looked almost uncoverable. Even when defensive coordinators started game planning around him, using double teams and throwing a safety in there for support, he still found ways to make plays. His quarterback put a lot of faith in him, and hopefully this team's quarterback will be able to do the same in due time.
I started up the skies. The world is where fire lies. Can see it in her painted eyes. She's got a rebel heart. One day she's gonna fall. She's got a rebel heart.
tonight we ain't going out, so we invited everybody. The made, well, they're way too strong, but ain't nobody saying sorry. The speaker's so blown, no one knows what it is, but we keep it on repeat cause we don't want it to end. We got the rest of our lives for the rest of our lives, and the rest of tonight for whatever feels right. We're doing it all.
Hold on now. This pick is trading teams.
Let's go to Adam now, who has more on the Bears' last pick.
This guy was a beast at the combine. No other rookie pumped out more reps on the bench than he did. One scout told me the whole room of players waiting their turn were on their feet cheering him on. He blasted through 20, didn't show signs of slowing down at 30, and finished with just over 40 reps under his belt. Coaches came away impressed with his level of effort. The bench press is a good test of endurance, and he showed his ability to perform at a high level without slowing down. If he can translate what he did in the weight room to the field, he'll have an immediate impact on the team.
Freedom running through us like an open. We're too high on being young and there's still to race. We've got the rest of our lives for the rest of our lives, and the rest of tonight for whatever feels right. We're doing it our way, just acting our age. One day we'll look back just shaking our heads, but right now we're too fast to slow down just yet.
All right, team is now off the clock. Adam Schefter, can you tell us about their newest player?
He was having a relatively quiet season this year, but we all know how one big showing can quickly turn things around. His late-game heroics and Hail Mary went down as one of the greatest moments of the entire season. Since then, he's continued to show a knack for stepping up his level of play in clutch situations and was able to pull off a string of impressive victories, each time increasing his draft stock. Some say you can only capture lightning in a bottle once, but I believe he can do it again, and apparently his team does too.
We got the rest of our lives for the rest of our lives, and the rest of tonight for whatever feels right. We're doing it our way, just acting our age. One day we'll look back just shaking our heads, but right now we're too fast to slow down just yet. We're doing it our way, just acting our age, just acting our age.
The Jaguars are now on the clock. The Browns are now on the clock. Our very own Adam Schefter has more to say about this pick.
A high-flying, hard-hitting defensive back, he was the subject of much criticism earlier this year after being unable to put together consistent performances week to week. Consistency doesn't even do the roller coaster of emotions he went through justice. A better description may have been puzzling. After turning in an exceptional performance in week 1 with 2 picks, he was downright terrible in week 2, being burned for 3 touchdowns. Week 3 saw him force a fumble and return it for a touchdown, and then week 4 saw him get beat on plays that led to critical scores in a close loss. The pendulum continued to swing both ways throughout the entire year, prompting one scout I spoke with to nickname him the Enigma. This pick could have a huge upside, providing this coaching staff has the patience for him to develop into a much more consistent player.
It's come out like a power within him. I get down like gravity, rackety rappers and raps rapidly follow the rapid into the rapids and being rapping and rattling, rattle riddles and rivets into the sky. I'm a rebel feeling riveting, rhythmically right and vigorous, spinning right to the rhythm.
The Chiefs are now on the clock.
I am the kid in the corner with the glasses. I am the specter, you should respect them. I don't expect a special ace.
The Redskins are now on the clock.
I'm just really glad I can say something. It's a blessing. Ain't no stress affecting my presence. But sometimes the pressure keeps pressing. Worst keeps my impression impressed. That's the way to relate. I'm just trying 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 to relate.
I see both teams filling out cards. You know what that means? We've got a trade.
Cardinals are off the clock now. Adam, what can you tell us about this guy?
Well, the first thing they need to do is have him sit down with the team nutritionist and trainer to make a plan that will bring him back to playing shape. He showed up at Indy several pounds overweight and looked lethargic in every drill. Guys like Matt Miller had their doubts that he can even make it through an NFL training camp right now. We'll see if they can get him in shape before camp and if he can control his weight in the future.
So you better not be the one to doubt us. 'Cause we gon' blow your mind. We gon' blow your mind. We gon' blow your mind. Okay, whoa, whoa, whoa. We've been on the road, from the go. Hit my blow, you know we've been down for.
Pick's been made. Let's go to Adam Schefter to hear more about the player.
In what could be seen as a controversial pick, here's a player who has been followed by quite the reputation as a wild child during his years in college. Numerous social media outlets followed and shared his off-field collegiate exploits, submarining his draft stock. Even with his party boy perception, many of my sources told me that this was simply a case of boys will be boys and not the foreshadowing of a larger issue. Look for this coaching staff to keep him extremely busy, hoping to avoid any unwanted publicity. This task may be easier said than done, especially given all the potential off-field distractions that come with being in the NFL. He has the potential to be his own worst enemy, and should he be unable to focus on the opportunity ahead of him, this pick could end up being one of the biggest busts of the draft.
The Vikings are now on the clock.
Vision, I was gonna get it. I was on missions. I was just living. Walked in that building. We were just building, taking our time. We were just yielding. We were just chilling away from these haters.
The Redskins are now on the clock.
Plotting these niggas that we need later. They gon' degrade us. It won't delay us. This is what made us. We got Omega. Probably roll. Probably just leave. I see you later. I salute Wake. Cop a new crib. Got some new neighbors. You get this big. They gon' want favors. They gon' want flavors. Probably roll. Hope the Lord save us, wait from these haters. Hope the Lord save us, wait from these snakes, wait from these fakes. Wait, I need breaks, wait, I need cake.
What wait looks like both war rooms are feverishly back on the phones. I think that means a trade is coming.
Rams have just made their pick. Adam, what can you tell us about him?
It's unfortunate to see a player recovering from an injury only to have it happen again, especially in an exhibition game. It was one of the rare times I've seen a brutal injury at the annual All-Star game between future NFL players. He took a hit that tore his ACL a second time in less than a year. That kind of injury history might scare away most teams, but it didn't scare away this team from drafting him. I've been told by his agent he's still recovering from the surgery, but he should be ready to play for training camp.
We gon' blow your mind. We gon' blow your mind. We gon' blow your mind.
The Texans are now on the clock. The Redskins are now on the clock.
How come nobody's at the podium? That's because both teams are right now working on a trade.
Now that he's been picked, Adam, tell us more about Mitchell.
Every year, a handful of prospects turn down their All-Star Game invitations, so a second round of invites are always sent out. He's fortunate to have been one of those last-minute additions this year, and he didn't take the opportunity for granted. He was the guy all the scouts fell in love with all through practices and game day. His performance was impressive enough in the game to slowly creep up the NFL draft boards, and he's being taken here, which is much sooner than most experts predicted.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a trade.
Adam, what can you tell us about that last pick?
One of the biggest stories last year was about this kid, and he didn't even get drafted. He shocked the entire football world, me included, when he announced he'd be staying in school for his final year of eligibility. When I spoke with him last year about the decision, he cited a promise he made to his parents before his freshman year in college. He promised them that he would complete his degree and set himself up for a career should a professional football career not be afforded to him. Showing tremendous character, he decided to honor this promise even after being heralded as a top pick in last year's draft. It's this type of character that had scouts raving about him, according to my sources. In fact, several owners even discussed business strategy during pre-draft interviews. If there's one possible knock on him, it's speculation that he may walk away from the game in a few years. This team is going to do everything in its power to persuade him to stay in the league, perhaps even offering him a role in the business end of the team once he does eventually retire.
To make the heart go.
The Redskins are now on the clock.
And play your cards with hot and seeded. You know you got to turn up to keep them begging
The Dolphins are now on the clock. The Redskins are now on the clock. The Vikings are now on the clock. The Redskins are now on the clock.
crowd. You're sitting on a ghost ain't out to feel the jungle you sound.
I wanna sit on private planes. I wanna scream my name on top of the Eiffel Tower. On the Eiffel Tower. I wanna hit that blackjack. I wanna take that money and run right here, right now. Right here, right now. But I won't take that train. I won't catch that flight if you're not on that plane. We ain't taking off tonight. Show in Tokyo, I wanna karaoke, bump it a little bit louder, a little bit louder. I wanna sing along with Elton John in a white limousine, rolling right here, right now, right here, right now. But I won't take that train, I won't catch that flight if you're not on that plane. We ain't taking off tonight. Scream your name, wanna make you smile. Let's be runaways, leave it all behind. Will you take that train? Will you catch that flight? If you're on that plane, we'll be taking off tonight. The money in the world, baby, don't mean a thing to me, 'cause you're all in the world. And even if we're broke, baby, don't mean a thing to me, 'cause you're all in the world. Right here, right now. I need you right here, right now. Oh, I need you right here, right now. Yeah, I need you right here, right
Came up and I don't know where I go tomorrow. Came up and I don't know what's gonna come tomorrow. Came up and I don't.
Bring your lunch pails, fellas. I need to see that workman attitude today. We got to get better today. What I want to know is, who's ready to get better? I'm ready to work today. You ready to work? You ready to work? All right, then let's see it. Let's get out there and do it.
Now let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90! Here we go now! Blue 90! Blue 90!
Now that's what I'm talking about, fellas. I don't know what happened between last week and this week, but today was a great practice. And this coaching staff is loving it.
It might be okay. I don't know where I'ma be tomorrow. Might be counting dough. I'll bet with your. Okay, your nose keep running and the money keep coming. Hey, I'ma keep ballin'. Hey, Rucker Park spallin'. Hey, carefree. I've been living carefree. So much in the air, we can barely even breathe. Hey, I really worry about things I don't know. You say I'm living wrong, you ain't wrong, money long way. So think about it, it ain't nothing I don't know. All the money that I saw, I don't think I'm ever wrong. And I don't know where I go tomorrow. Came up, and I don't know what's gonna come tomorrow. Got the came up, and I don't know where I go tomorrow. Came up, and I don't know what's gonna come tomorrow. Yeah.
Draw, hard to admit that I used to draw. Portraiture in a human form, doodle of a two-headed unicorn. It was soothing, moving his arm in a fusion of man-made tools and amused from beyond. Even if it went beautifully wrong, it was tangible truth for a youth to refuse to belong. No name nuisance, who's in a bedroom, who's in a brand new cuneiform. Barely commune with the horde, got a whole grayscale ungluing his world. Might zone amp to the yap of the magpie, unseen hand dragging his graphite. Cross contour, little bit of backlight, black ink after a Bristol to baptize. You can imagine a rush that ensue when you get three dimensions stuffed in a two. Then it's off to a school where it's all you get to, being trained and observed by a capable few. Back in New York by peeps and a dog in a two-bedroom doing menial jobs. Plus rhyming and stealing and being a clod, distractions, freedom, a rod. I left some years of giving a light, I left some will the spirit away. I let my fears materialize, I let my skills deteriorate. Horn about a thought of what I should have been, continuing a mission that was rooted in a 20-year affinity and rickety condition with an ID crisis. Snap on the front lawn, look up in the sky, it's
Shapes falling out of the fringe. All heart though we would've made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. And now we're colors pouring out of the fringe. All heart though we would've made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Just to count your rings.
used to paint. Hard to admit that I used to paint. Natural light on a human face. Stenciled fire in his roommate's face. It was blooming addiction, a miss and a push and a pigment. Book like a tattooed pigskin look. Pinhead kids in a minute. Drank Kool-Aid from a tube of acrylic. And I grew up in a linseed oil of linen. Joy to the poison, voice to the resin. Capture a map of a gesture. Back up, add a little accurate fat to the figure. Redo that, move that inward. Zinc white lightning shoots from his fingers. Studio strewn with illusion and tinctures. Stay tuned for the spooky adventures. You can imagine the stars that align when a forearm starts foreshortening right, or a torso hung on a warping spine in proportion. Reads as warm and alive. Routine day with a dirt cheap brush. Then a week goes by and it goes untouched. Then 2, then 3, then a month, and the rest of your life to beat yourself up. I left some seasons eager to fall. I left some work to bury alive. I let my means of being dissolved. I let my person curl up and die. Eating up his innards and unfeasible anxiety is brutally committed to relinquishing his privacy, aligning with the trials of the anti-Midas. Snap on the back lawn, look up in the sky, it's
shapes falling out of the fringe. All heart though we would've made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. And now we're colors
Colors pouring out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Just to count your rings.
Oh my Lord, the light is going down and the week is here. Save my soul. I can feel it coming, troubles in the air. Oh my Lord, the light is going down and the week is here. Save my soul. Who's all with me? Who's all with me?
On the car, it's like a weekend at Bernie's, and baby, you with the ball. I'm about to get it poppin', call a Uber, cause I'm a scuba. Dive while he driving, shawty rockin', and I maneuver. I know you like it when I put it, yeah. Maybe you should bring a friend along, yeah. Now, I got paper and I ain't gon' chase you, baby, I'm gon' take you down. Now, come on, shake it, baby, turn that around. I'm like,
oh my Lord, the light is going down and the week is here. Save my soul. I can feel it coming, troubles in the air. Oh my Lord, the light is going down and the week is here. Save my soul. Who's all with me? Who's all with me? Save my soul. I can feel it coming, troubles in the air. Oh my Lord, the light is going down and the week is here. Save my soul. Who's all with me? Who's all with me?
when the night ends. There's no winner when you're walking alone. Sliding down the last street, you want me? I need some mercy on my soul, come on. Give me what you got, oh, oh, oh. Give me what you got, oh, oh, oh. I said, roll up, yeah, come get your love. I don't care when we're dancing tonight, just as long as you're there in the break of the light. I said, roll up, yeah, come get your love. I don't care if I'm losing my way. I've been waiting for you as the night fades away. So roll up, roll up, roll up, roll up, roll up. Extra, touch and pull, hand in hand for one last touch. Shake extra, touch and pull, hand in hand for one last touch. Shake extra, touch and pull, hand in hand for one last touch. Give me what you got, oh, 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 oh. I said, roll up, yeah, come get your love. I don't care when we're dancing tonight, just as long as you're there in the break of the light. I said, roll up, yeah, come get your love. I don't care if I'm losing my way. I've been waiting for you as the night fades away. So roll up, roll up, roll up, roll up, roll up.
Hey, you never had your head this way. Are you still living in that place? They told me you've been doing okay, okay. In another world where you and me, we show our hearts, yeah, entirely. Deliver me from reality and take me to my fantasy. Tell me we can make this real if we can follow what we feel. I'm running, but I've reached the edge, and now I'm falling. So promise that you'll catch me. Promise that you'll catch me. Dreams forever in my head, it seems. I finally know what they mean. I promise that one day you'll see. In another world where you and me, we show our hearts, yeah, entirely. Deliver me from reality and take me to my fantasy. Tell me we can make this real if we can follow what we feel. I'm running, but I've reached the edge, and now I'm falling. So promise that you'll catch me. Promise that you'll catch me. Promise that you'll catch me.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got the Knox in the house, right? And I go by the name of Wyclef. I bought the band. And we need all the ladies to report on the dance floor. And you know my slogan. No
tough and not a bluffer. I want you to be my lead, don't have to take it undercover. Just under the bells are ringing, people singing, rice throwing flower, bringing ting-a-ling-a-ling. The honeymoon is when we going, and I take you to a place that you didn't even know exists. What's your wish? Dinner at the Eiffel Tower in Paris.
Shot is in the basement party, yeah. Turn into the greatest party, yeah. Never see my baby coming. Just once, and we went up. Yeah. And my love a tripping, yeah. Now I feel my body drifting, yeah. Baby girl, she got me lifted. Am I tripping? Excuse her while she kisses the sky. 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 Jaws dropping when she walking, kind of thing that happen often. More than just a little happy shooting down the city. Black the latest gears when she wear. You see that sun in the air. Fashion week all year, throwing money in the air. Just happy with my lady. Other girls they wanna hate her. It comes with the territory. Ball players wanna date her. All we got is loyalty. I'm treating you like royalty. I'ma spoil you every day of the week. Shot is in the basement party, yeah. Turn into the greatest party, yeah. Never see my baby coming. Just once, then we went up, yeah. And my love was tripping. Now I feel my body drifting. My body drifting. Baby girl, she got me lifted. Am I tripping? Excuse her while she kisses the sky. 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 Hey baby, baby, hey baby. Hey baby, baby, hey baby. Take a breath, inhale, exhale, now breathe, baby. Hey baby, baby, hey baby. Hey baby, baby, hey baby. Yeah. Inhale, exhale, let's take a breath and breathe, baby. Excuse her while she kisses the sky. 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 Excuse her while she kisses the sky.
We set the roof on fire. 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 We set the roof. We set the roof. We set the roof on fire. We set the roof. We set the roof. We set the roof on fire.
If I'm not mistaken, home team made it. 2 3s on my feet, then I pump fake. Baby girl, grab the crew. What if kiss it? Sweat leave, Mr. Couldn't took it quicker. Hottest on the planet, get the place lit up. Fly, got expensive taste, sight into. We ain't on the same team. Cheer up. Bunch of that make sit up. I ain't come to blend in, boy, I stand out. Money talks, you just popping off at the mouth. If I'm the topic, then the conversation heated. Right shrimp, getting booked up in every city. Splash up with cash, had the spaz on the waiter. She messed up my order 3 times in a row. I'm good on gas, I just filled up my tank. Now let's fill up her head and let's see if she goes.
We set the roof on fire. 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 We set the roof. We set the roof. We set the roof on fire. We set the roof. We set the roof. We set the roof on fire.
Slow. 2 bad swimming in my bed. Off with that. Off with that. Young Slim, get it in my infrared. Come and hit the brain, I just lit the gas. Young wild winning, living fast. Stash your money in a brown paper bag. We set the roof on fire, then we flood it out. We just threw the money up, we ain't even count. Shake it, shake it, shake it. Shit in my speeder, girl, I'm nothing, messing up my speech. I'm $1 million player, baby, nothing's at my reach. I'm $1 million, like I hit the lottery. Splash her with cash, had to spaz on the waitress. She messed up my order 3 times in a row. I'm good on gas, I just filled up my tank. Now let's fill up her head and let's see if she goes.
We set the roof on fire. 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 We set the roof on fire.
Yeah, I've been killing it. Yeah, I've been hard in the paint, not a single assist. Yeah, I've been flicking that wrist. Yeah, I've been now they with this. Yeah, I've been killing it. Yeah, I've been hard in the paint, not a single assist. Yeah, I've been flicking that wrist. Yeah, I've been now they with this. Yeah, I've been killing that. Yeah, I've been flicking that wrist. Yeah, I've been killing that, flicking that wrist. Yeah, I've been killing that. Yeah, I've been hard in the paint, not a single assist. Yeah, I've been flicking that wrist, flicking that wrist. Let me tell you about the young man. Matter of fact, I'ma let Push tell that. Take it about the old man. Had to change her heart and then fell back. Old man lived a long life. Walked around with a long way. Like Jesus, that Colombiana, that's mere models like. Look at the flick of that wrist. I'm feeling like Leonardo. Let me paint the picture. I might need a bottle. On the road to success, I can fit a throttle. That Michelangelo, hundreds in the envelope. Type when I write. And that old man had to change her heart. Wish he knew it back from the start. Like, looked around, seen his wife on the military all over the whole compound. Soon as he seen it, I swear it, I mean it, my man was gone quicker than dominoes. He in jail, everyone falling like dominoes. Yeah, I've been killing it. Yeah, I've been hard in the paint, not a single assist. Yeah, I've been flicking that wrist. Yeah, I've been now they with this. Yeah, I've been killing it. Yeah, I've been hard in the paint, not a single assist. Yeah, I've been flicking that wrist. Yeah, I've been now they with this. Yeah, I've been killing that. Yeah, I've been flicking that wrist. Yeah, I've been killing that, flicking that wrist. Yeah, I've been killing that. Yeah, I've been hard in the paint, not a single assist. Yeah, I've been flicking that wrist, flicking that wrist.
Logic, clockwise, counterclockwise, realest in the top 5. Other 4 ain't rapping. I'm just repping for the side. Yeah, that's coastlines, Panama for the boat rides. Worth billions, and we ain't even need showtime. Just money counters and kitchenware. Condo with a in there. We got rich in there. Been a trophy since Hawaiian Sophie. Curry over Kobe. We shootin'. Splash Brothers with the add in soap. Good fellas to my Aureliotis. Shades of blue, I admit you. Let the sky fall, let it rain on you.
Yeah, I've been killing it. Yeah, I've been hard in the paint, not a single assist. Yeah, I've been flicking that wrist. Yeah, I've been now they with this. Yeah, I've been killing it. Yeah, I've been hard in the paint, not a single assist. Yeah, I've been flicking that wrist. Yeah, I've been now they with this. Yeah, I've been killing that. Yeah, I've been flicking that wrist. Yeah, I've been killing that, flicking that wrist. Yeah, I've been killing that. Yeah, I've been hard in the paint, not a single assist. Yeah, I've been flicking that wrist, flicking that wrist.
Just a bunch of poor boys, daddies, girls, children of the cornfield, trying to turn a shift job into a dollar bill. We wear the muddy boots, stay true to how we're raised. Ain't nothing about us fake. You know we're straight out of that dirty south, dirty roads. Nobody got no money, got them signed up pickup trucks, whistling at them country, yes sir. You